Alright. There we go. Alright. I'm not gonna lie, I've been thinking of a story for for a minute about this. What if I'm gonna say alright, so this is like what if Deku was experimented on. Alright. So I'm gonna give this story. Um Everyone in the higher ups, they know about All for One and what happened with All Might. They don't know anything about One for All and all that, but um I'm gonna say like in order because they get worried in their head, they're like, we can't let this happen again. So they try and find a quirkless, like suitable human to experiment on to like give the power to defeat him if he ever comes back. So with that like I guess this is where Deku comes in. So Deku he comes in into the world and then they check to see if he has that extra joint in his foot. Which I think he does, or is it the other way? I think he does, but they see that and they take him away. Inko like gets the notice like a few days later, and she is furious. She's like, "Where is my baby?" and all that, but she sees him every like once a month, which it hurts her, but she knows that that's like the only possibility. Like she can't mess with the higher ups, but she does like get benefits out of it. But she still doesn't care. Um. So yeah, I guess he just gets experimented on, and he gets at first they give him three quirks because they try and recreate All for One for Deku, but they can't. So what they do give him though is strength, regeneration, and teleportation because those are the main three I just thought of. He might get more later on, but for now it's just those three. And this is by the time he was 3. And during all those times, like whenever he did get to see Inko, she made sure um, that he did have a personality because without her, he would be just like nobody. He wouldn't have a personality. Like he wouldn't know how to feel because he's basically being treated like a I can't pronounce it, but he's basically like a weapon from Naruto, like with the tailed beast. So Inko makes sure that he has a personality and explains like heroes and All Might. He looks up to All Might still. So he still has like somewhat of a personality, but he's like more like just straight faced. He doesn't smile unless he sees his mom. So I'm gonna say like let's skip to middle school because he's just there the entire time. Like he has to like be experimented on and everything. So he still gets like taught and everything, and he's like really smart. So he does get put into middle school though, just to see like how he would act to other people. So he's more quiet than anything. He stays in the back, and um, that causes he's still in the same class as Bakugo, and Bakugo at this point, since Deku was never there in the begin with, he is his vision of himself is like immortal, like equivalent or higher to All Might. So when he sees Deku and like how quiet he is, he ain't taking it. He ain't taking it. So he does try and fight with Deku, and he remembers the people saying like, "Hey, only use one of your quirks, and if you use strength, only use 5% of that." I'm gonna say his strength is the equivalent to what One for All would give him. By the way, he can use 100% easily with like no backlash because his regeneration is strong. Like he can break it and then instantly get it within like a second. So he's only allowed to use 5% unless something happens and he can go all out. So I'm gonna say they do fight and Deku wins. he wins the first one, and Bakugo he instantly went straight back down. He was like, somebody just beat me, and he can't take that. So from like the beginning of middle school to the end, he's like, no, we're gonna fight every single time. And I'm gonna say Deku wins most of them, but I'm gonna say he loses like 5 times. So I'm gonna say, how many times have they fought in total? I'm gonna say 40. I'll just go 40. So he won 35 times against 5. So he still wins. If he could use more than 5%, he would win all the time. But he just didn't care. He used straight face the entire time. He just has no emotions. So, he gets annoyed with it, but like Bakugo, he gets really annoyed with it, but he knows like he can't do anything about it because he just won't say anything back. He's just a lost cause, is what he thinks. So then the day when like they're like, oh yeah, what do you want to do? Like you want to go to UA, or no? The teacher comes in and they're like, oh well, you all want to become heroes. And that's when Bakugo makes a speech like, oh man, all you guys are beneath me. Like you can't become heroes even if you tried. So I'm gonna say after that, they say that Deku's going to UA, which he didn't decide that. He just the the higher ups they chose that. Instead of doing a recommendation, he has to like do it to prove that he is the suitable weapon. I'm gonna say like from the beginning they were like, oh yeah, like all for one, like yeah, we have to make him so that doesn't happen again. But now like that he's getting stronger and stronger and they realize it, they're like, we can take him to wars across seas, which is really like bring him down because he can hear what they're saying and they're like just using him, so he's just a pawn, which he doesn't care, but he still wants to become a hero to like just prove that he's not a weapon, I guess. So when that happens, Makio he gets annoyed and he goes up to Deku and he's like, why are you going? And then that's when Deku does something that like he didn't mean to. He just teleported away. And everyone was so shocked because they only seen his strength. And I'm gonna say he went up to 10% before, but that was just like because he was getting annoyed inside of his head. So when he teleports outside, he instantly thinks inside his head like, shoot, I just messed up. And everyone was like, what just happened? Like what? And then he was instantly sent out. And they were all like, okay, it's a one-time mistake. Just say like your quirk mutated and all that. So when he goes back the next day, like everyone's wondering like what happened, and he just says his quirk manifested or something. They just like, I don't know. He's just like, it just happened. So they're all confused, but they really don't care because Deku, he's just not. He doesn't have that personality, so nobody's like really interested in what he's talking about. And I'm gonna say like Deku is really strong. Like nobody can face him, and he's like the smartest inside the whole entire school. So he has like no, he has like top in every single thing that he does, like sports and academics and intelligence. He's just number one. So it was automatically like assumed that he was going to UA. So nobody really knew about that. I mean, like nobody really uh, got confused about it. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna just skip to the tunnel. So let's yeah, okay. So he's just walking. He knows that he could teleport, but this time he chooses not to because he still like has a personality in his head that he knows of because of Inko. All right, I'm sorry. I had to do something real quick, but yeah. So he's still walking through the tunnel. Um, he's just thinking about like what can he do to surpass All Might because he wants to become the next symbol piece like on his own. So he's too busy like thinking inside of his head like what he can do to prove that he's not just a weapon. But that's when the sludge monster comes out, and he wasn't expecting it, so he did get caught, but instantly right after he just teleported out of it and then just used up 100% of his power, which I'm gonna say like he trained it to the point where it can become full cow, but he didn't really see it like a requirement for it yet, so he just put it inside of his fist or his arm and just punched it. And I'm gonna say All Might, he's seen it because he was about to say something, but he like seen it get destroyed. So when he seen it, he was like, "Bro, did I like have a kid and not even realize it?" So oh man, that's stupid. No, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. um, but yeah, he's like thinking that, and Deku he like picks all of it up and he just he puts inside of a bottle and he's like, well, I guess I can deliver this like while I'm out. Might as well. I don't see a problem with it. So that's when All Might shows up, and Deku he gets like freaked out. He's like because he's never shown his emotions, so he doesn't know how to feel, but he does have a smile on his face. Not like a big one, but like a smirk. And he was so like surprised of it. He's like, "How did I just put a smirk on my face? This is only like when I'm hanging out with my mom or something." So when that happens, like All Might's like, did you defeat this villain?" And Deku said, "Yeah, like it was no problem." And All Might was questioning like what was his quirk and all that. Deku like he was kind of required to just say strength. So he says strength, but All Might seen him use teleportation, so he said, "Oh, so you have strength and teleportation." That's when Deku was like, "Shoot, he seen my he seen my teleportation as well." So you know, I'm gonna just say like he says like, "Oh yeah, like I do." I can't control it yet, which that's a lie, but just to like kind of get it off. But All Might's like just plain out says it like, "Hey, you wanna be my successor?" So Deku he doesn't know what he means by that, so he's like, "What do you mean?" And then All Might he tells him like about his injury and everything, and like he's in a dire need of a successor. So I'm gonna say when Deku's seen the injury on him, he realized like through training his quirk, his regeneration, he can regenerate other people. But yeah, he can regenerate other people by I'm gonna say the giving him his blood. I'm gonna just say like a drop of blood, since he's an O type. Like he's an O blood type. So he does that. Like he explains to All Might, like, "Hey, I can like regenerate that," and he doesn't really see a problem with like sharing his secret quirks because All Might did just say like all of his secrets, except for One for All. He hasn't said that yet. So he regenerates All Might, and he realizes it instantly because he's not in Small Might form anymore. He's in All Might, and he doesn't feel like a pain or anything. So he looks at his injury and he's like, it's gone. Like, well, that's crazy. But Deku was like, don't go looking around for a successor at this time now because I just healed you up all the way. Like, you don't really need a successor yet. Like, you could still be the number one hero. Like, just you got it. So All Might, he's still shocked. He's like, well, if you do, like, do you now that I'm at 100%, like, do you wanna train? So Deku, he takes the offer because he just doesn't know what to do. Like he's just like there startled, just like still thinking like it's All Might and I just healed him all the way. So later on, like they do train. I'm gonna say at this point, like the higher ups, they allowed Deku to live at his mom's house, but every weekend, like every I'm gonna say 2 days. Yeah, so every single weekend, like he has to go and still like try and see what his quirks can do. So I'm gonna say, a few weeks go by, and that's when All Might talks about his quirk to Deku, like when they're out training. And Deku's like really like kind of into it because his main purpose is to get like quirks that he wasn't really born with. So he's saying All Might's saying like about All for One, and then that's when it came inside of his head like he just blabbered it out like I'm supposed to fight him. That's what I was made to do. And All Might, he doesn't know what he's talking about. So he's like really confused, like, wait, what? I'm gonna say like the higher ups they told All Might about it, but not like to the full extent, like what his name is and everything. But All Might he pieces it together, and he realizes like this is the kid that I was like kind of told about. So that's when he was like, oh, like this is just perfect. Like I have to give him my quirk. So he says that to Deku, and Deku he doesn't know. I'm I think because I still want to think about the story. I don't fully know what the story is with this because it just came up as an idea and I just wanted to like blabber out and like run on about it. So I don't know. I just kind of want to see if this story is like kind of good. Probably not. I don't know. Um but yeah, I think I might leave it off at this. And if I think of like more stuff, I could probably like make a part 2 of it. Um if it's possible, like I kind of want you guys to like criticize me on this because I have no idea if it's good or not. So, yeah, I think I might just leave it on that. Just tell me what you guys think about it. I want you to be brutally honest. I want you to be like, oh, it's good, or like, oh, this sucks. Like, just stop. I don't know, man. I'm planning on making a part 2 of Ultra Instinct though later on. I don't know when, but when I get to it. So yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know. I just got bored of this stupid quarantine thing. It's like so dumb, but yeah. I guess I'll talk to you guys later, and yeah, have a good one. I guess I still don't have an outro, so peace.